Another day, another Dr. Disrespect story, and man, oh man, Twitter is going wild with the latest story surrounding Dr. Disrespect that's going on, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But first, I wanted to address comments made by Nickmercs. Now, Nickmercs, Dr. Disrespect's friend, who is a very prominent streaming video game streamer, and he streamed with Doc a few times, and from a public standpoint, him and Tim the Tatman were, I guess, like the two biggest streamers that were connected to Doc. And he made some comments initially with Tim the Tatman. I kind of criticized those comments because I felt like they felt very much like they both came out at the same time, and they both felt very staged, in my opinion. But to be fair, Nickmercs has now given more thoughts through the whole thing, and I want to listen to some of his comments. This is over on the Jake Lucky's channel, so Jake Lucky clipped some of this together. He does some commentary in between. We're going to talk about this first, then we're going to get into all the other stuff going on with Doc. Here we go.
Fucking nuts, man. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to be all smiley up here in front of y'all too much, man, off the rip. I mean, look, what do you want me to say, man? What does anybody want from me? I don't get it. What do you want me to do? You want me to beat the shit out of myself? Like I'm Jim Carrey and Liar Liar or something, and I'm just fucking smacking my head against the toilet? I don't know what you want. You know, I didn't fucking do it. What? You take a look at Twitter, you'd think I did this shit. Fucking take me away, man. Handcuffs. People are telling me I'm a pedophile.
To the Mods Overtime Fund.
Yeah.
Cause they're gonna need it.
Yeah. Hey, Mods, fucking good luck, brothers and sisters. You gonna need Jesus today, man. Good luck. But it was on your ass? Yeah, bro, they're always on dick, man. They're always on dick, you know? And I mean, granted, I might deserve a little bit of it because I understand that there's this proverbial scoreboard going on, right? Where like, oh my God, his boy, you know? Score one for us. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, I get it.
And it didn't take long for this to become also more about.
And yeah, I'll just to the parts where Jake's talking. I will link to this video. So, but I'm just more concerned with what Nick has to say than what Jake Lucky's commentary is on it. But he is right about that. Like the hate. I can't even imagine the hate that Nickmercs was getting on Twitter, because not only did he have the Doc stuff going on, but he also had the Chris Tyson stuff going on. Whew! I'm a little jealous, to be honest. I'm a little jealous. That would have been a shit show to be a part of.
Weird, man. Like, I almost, like, after looking at it all, I can't really put my finger on it, you know? I'm not like 100%, but I feel like my feeling.
Nick, I stand W.
I can't tell if people
you
are
one
more
of the big boys
upset.
Who didn't back the internet's mindset.
Make my point, Noah.
The internet goes guilty until proven.
Let me make my point real quick. I can't tell if people are more upset with me because of my comments against transgender people and shit, right? Or if people are more upset like about the Doc thing. I can't really tell. Like I'm looking at it all and I'm like, wow, man, what a crazy timeline. Isn't it weird?
And one part where I really do agree with Nick on, and I definitely want to chime in, is
I would argue that he's getting more hate for the trans stuff than the Doc stuff. That from an outside looking in, he's probably getting more hate because that whole situation, especially with Mr. Beast getting involved, I would argue it's that, but it's hard to tell. It really is hard to tell.
Coming out and no longer supporting him. They're insinuating that there is proof that people stream secret. When he got banned, there was countless rumors around why it happened. One of the biggest ones was around a contract dispute with trying to leverage another platform against Twitch. Then it went to court, and we all knew there was a settlement. I'm sick and disgusted by what he did, and honestly in shock, but people sharing his gaming group had to have known is a ridiculous claim. But
that is a ridiculous claim. But it's the leftist mindset of wanting to have his friends become responsible for his actions now. Leftists are all about shifting the blame to people that aren't directly to blame. This is a leftist mindset. And so now, obviously, Doc has fallen for what was accused and then confirmed by Doc himself. And now leftists want his gaming friends to suffer. And then once those guys suffer, then they want their friends, the friends of the gaming friends, they have to suffer. And then it'll move into people that actually supported Doc. Did you support him? Did you send him a super chat? Were you part of the Champions Club? Did you send him memberships? You have to be punished too. That is the leftist mindset. because these people are not operating within reality. They are true fucking psychopaths.
But Nick continues on, and he's pretty open and honest, as per usual, as he says that Doc was not the best guy. Like, he had done some pretty crazy stuff, including this.
It's kind of fucking weird. I feel like they almost don't even care about what's going on with the situation, and they're just kind of like using it as like ammo or something. Like, okay, cool, man. You know, like what? Like, imagine not giving a shit about what actually happened and like trying to use it for like some little fucking point to make. Like, okay, bro, got it, cool, great. Yeah, I mean, look, and then the truth in this all is that, bro, like, people want me to just fucking destroy the guy up and down. I mean, he was a friend. He was a friend. I don't know what people want from me. The guy was a friend, okay? He wasn't my best friend. People were going around like, oh, he's your best buddy. You guys gamed every day. No, the fuck we didn't, you know? I mean, look, I will admit that he was my friend. And I had a lot of respect for the guy. You know, I didn't think he was the best guy in the world, right? The guy dude cheated on his wife. I mean,
I don't really care what Doc has done in his private life. I don't care what anybody has done in their private life as long as it's not illegal at all. I don't care. I don't care what anybody in this chat does in their private life. I don't care. But when you make your private life and your sexual identity part of your public life, that's a huge red flag. Doc didn't do that, by the way, to my knowledge. Doc didn't make his sexual fantasies part of his public life, so I don't care. Well, I will say the only thing he did do is he did do that cringy like apology video where he broke character and admitted to cheating on his wife, which was very, very strange. Maybe that was her saying that you had to do it, but I personally don't think that the internet needs to know anything about a streamer's personal life. That's just my opinion on it. I don't think the internet needs to know about a streamer's personal life. I also don't think people should go on social media and talk about their private sexual fantasies in any capacity whatsoever. Period. That's just really kind of a clear line in the sand. You shouldn't talk about these things publicly. But if you do, you're going to get clowned for it. So while I don't believe you should do it, I also believe that if you do it, then you are fair game to be clowned for it. But if you don't make it known, then I don't care. I don't care what you do. And that's where I stand on it.
he said he was sorry. People can make mistakes, you know, but there's certain things that you do, and there's certain things that you don't do. And I mean, look, he fucking guy does a lot of crazy ass shit, man. I mean, this is crazy. Okay, so what do you want from me? What do you want out of me, man? I mean, I said what he did is absolutely unacceptable. Anybody with a brain knows that. It's ridiculous. Obviously, and I say obviously, man, in caps lock, that we don't support shit like that. Why would we ever? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. It caught everybody off guard. Okay. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard all the way around, especially when you get hit with something like that. And prior to him putting out his statement, we didn't know what was what. We had a bunch of fucking dweebs on Twitter just spewing shit. But until we know what's good, I mean, we can't just say the guy's guilty of something like that. It's fucking ridiculous, man. You're not guilty until proven innocent. It's backwards. And that's happened a few times. And it's been crazy. You don't want to do that. You want to wait for evidence. You want to wait for people to speak up or speak out. And then you're like, okay, and now we can properly assess things. And that's what I did. So that's where we're at. And the situation's fucking shit across the board. It's just a shitty situation. Bro, you responded in the best way possible. They wanted to drag you over coals because you wanted to wait for evidence. Screw them. I think that there's a lot of people that are upset about my trans comments, but I stand by every one of those comments, man. I through and through. It is not a healthy thing. You can pretend that it is all you want. You can pretend that these things are certain ways that they are not. I stand by all that. I mean, I don't want to keep going over it, you know, but I think that that's where a lot of the anger comes in, you know, and then all the while Doc, a guy that I play games with, is you know, doing stupid shit like that.
1000%. I think the hate that he was getting was more so on that side of things than the Doc side. But you bring both of them together, and you got a crazy mixture of people that are giving you shit. And again, like I said, I'm kind of jealous that he got that much hate, because that's a rare situation probably. And Twitter, again, is a war zone. There's nothing that you're like, I don't know why people think that Twitter is anything other than a complete shit show, because that's what it is. It's not a place to go and be happy and have a good, positive, productive day. It's a place that you go to see people fighting about everything. That is what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Keep your expectations in check and understand that when you go into Twitter, you are going there into a war zone of people talking shit and fighting and quote tweeting you to their audience and vice versa. That's what Twitter is. It's designed for fighting, and it's never going to change.
You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand the entirety of the situation, but it doesn't change my views on transgender shit at all.
And then to end it, one of the more notable quotes then doing things like this.
So I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but you're not going to find it. Definitely weird timing. Yeah, Jay-Z, definitely weird timing. Absolutely. But what can you do? You know what I mean? We still don't know if he knew she was underage. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. He admitted that in his tweet. Yeah, people are still trying to defend what he did.
Yeah, so this is the part I don't understand. So, no matter what anyone says about the Dr. Disrespect situation, you're going to get a lot of passionate opinions on both sides. I am someone that doesn't know Doc, and I'm not a fan of Doc, and I didn't watch Doc. The fact that I'm getting so much heat as someone that's that far removed from the situation, I can't imagine what somebody like Nickmercs and Tim the Tapman are getting. Holy shit. With that said, I waited for evidence, and I got the evidence from Dr. Disrespect. I said, I'm not going to believe Twitch until I see something that actually is evidence or confirmation of anything. Doc's tweet was that confirmation. Now, you can say that we need more context to his tweet, and that is an argument, but that's on him. His words said that he did the thing that he was accused of, which was talking to someone that he should not have been talking to. He didn't give further clarification. So based on the fact that all we have is what he said, that is what is there to judge him on. Not anything a former Twitch employee said, not anything that some esports reporter said, not anything that some pronouns and bio user said. What his actual words are indefensible. If he gives more context, then that could change the perception. But as it stands right now, that is all we have are his words, and his words are not very good.
I mean, even he tried to defend what he did in a really odd way in that tweet. Like, he said that he knew that she was underage, and he would still text her. And the text, I can't remember how he put it in his tweet, but what did it say? That the texts would sometimes go a certain way? Yeah, he edited the tweet 3 times. Just so bad. It's so bad, you guys. It's so bad. You know, and look, what do you want from me, man? You know, I gave the guy the benefit of the doubt until we knew more. But look, it's unacceptable when you have just in any world that is unacceptable. You got to be smarter. You got to be better. You can't do shit like that. It's not only is it against the law, but where the fuck is your head and your heart at to do things like that? You know, what are we doing? Why are we doing stuff like that? So to act like I don't care or act like I'm not upset about the shit he did is crazy. You just have to remember that he was a friend of mine. So obviously I'm going to behave a little bit differently. I got some weird fucking, attachments to this. I do. He was a friend. People think that we're like best friends, like we're hanging out. I don't even know the guy outside of a wig. We took one picture together, and newsflash, he was in a wig. and we talked for 8 minutes. Now, I don't want to dumb down a relationship and act like we weren't friends, because we were. Because people are looking for that to come out of me. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm just keeping it $150. Let's not play the game where we're going to act like I was playing with the guy every fucking day, all day. He's my best fucking pal. We're smoking fucking a cigar together, playing golf.
He was going to say smoking something else. I think he was going to say smoking something else.
I wasn't doing that shit. He lives in California. I'm in South Florida. I never leave my home. I'm a streamer. I mean, and then when I do, I go down south to gamble I'm with my family. So just calm down with that shit. We're not.
I got to give Nickmercs credit. I thought this response was very good. It gave a lot more perspective from his standpoint, and I personally appreciated it, and it did make me look at him in a little bit different light because of how he was caught up in this situation for sure. So I definitely wanted to give that perspective from him because it really was a good response overall, and it does show that he just caught up in a very, very difficult situation. Now we move on to today's news. Today's news is pretty interesting. First, we're going to start out with all of the sponsorships that Dr. Disrespect has lost, and then we're going to move into what Twitter is talking about right now. Let's jump into it.
Further news surrounding Doc's partners. First up, Doc had a partnership with the San Francisco 49ers that has now been dropped, with a spokesperson saying, "We take these developments seriously and will not be working with him going forward." Then also, Doc has a skin in the NBA video game. Dexerto has shared that 2K has confirmed that Dr. Disrespect is being removed from NBA.
There's a lot of irony with this picture. I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. He's my favorite basketball player of all time. I'm still shocked that Kobe is no longer with us. It's still hard to even process. With that said, this particular picture is pretty funny because what you have are two people that have been accused of something and never committed a crime, or they've never been convicted of a crime, but they've been accused of pretty horrible things. Both have settled out of court. One is being celebrated and left on the cover. The other has been completely unpersoned. It's just very ironic. It's impossible to not point that out when you see this picture right here. Also, so the fact that he had a partnership with the San Francisco 49ers, the fact that he had this deal with NBA 2K24, the fact that he had all these other business things going on, and apparently Twitch was was knowledgeable of whatever this horrible thing is that he did, but said nothing, all while he became this mega millionaire, mega celebrity, but they knew of whatever this horrible thing is that he did. This story is so fucking confusing that it's hard to process everything right now. It really is hard to process everything.
NBA 2K24 in the next patch. And alongside that, Dr. Disrespect's Bourbon brand, Black Steel, has had their website taken down. Now, if you try to go to the website, nothing loads. And then that brings us on to the big drama for today regarding Doc.
Okay, so we're gonna cover this here in just a minute, but let me go back to what I was just talking about. All of this stuff, and Twitch never said anything, made it public. Why? That's a question that needs to be asked. Why did Twitch not say anything? Why did they allow this predator to continue to move forward? Why? Why was he allowed to go to YouTube and blow up on YouTube? Why was he allowed to work with the 49ers? Why was he allowed to work on NBA 2K24? Why was this allowed if he was this horrible person? That's the question I have to ask. It doesn't make sense. Something doesn't add up. But I will go back to his tweet is the single most damning thing at this point. Not the accusations, not the Twitch ban. His own tweet is the most damning thing. None of this makes any fucking sense to me. None of this makes sense. I don't understand it. Now we move on to today's news, which is just funny.
and one from the trans streamer Lena Love, who shared during that time in 2017 when he was cheating on his wife with not only me, a trans sex worker, but also another woman, and texting a minor, he was exploiting me by making me give him cam shows with the promise of partnership. After the cam shows, he went ahead and blocked me. This is alongside a video. I'm just going to show screenshots here, but from the top we can see Doc message, Lena brings up a photo shoot, mentioning it's a lewd photo shoot and how she can do things to him. Doc goes along with it and then asks for one to be released right now. Assume here he's referring to pictures of what was just mentioned. The convo just gets a bit weird from here, very dominant from Lena's side, but of which then this convo was taken off Twitter and onto Snapchat. Later on, Doc unfollows Lena and he then blocks her after further messages were sent. We then have some messages from another messaging service where things get even weirder, mentioning his Snapchat and what Doc is doing right now, followed by that previous mention of Doc trying to get Lena partnership but failing to. So we're going to leave that one there. Feel free to go back through those messages and make conclusions on what was shared. But what we can really take from all of this is that Doc really was on something during 2017. So that's everything for Doc up until now, and so as always I pass this one off to you. What do you think of all these most recent developments? And so that's where
So, okay, in terms of this stuff right here, I really don't care. And I can't emphasize that enough. I do not care at all what he's done in his personal life. It means nothing to me. It has no effect. As long as there's 2 consenting adults or 3 consenting adults or 4 or 5, I don't care. I don't care what you do in your personal life as long as it's not illegal. And I don't care what a streamer does in their personal life. When we start worrying about what people are doing in the privacy of their own home or residence with other consenting adults, then we are really fucking weird at that point. I don't care. I'm on a need to know basis and I don't need to know. But with the timing of everything else going on, it's obviously relevant and you can't not at least acknowledge that it happened. But I truly think that it doesn't matter in specific to that act. It's just funny. So that's where we are right now. Nickmercs, I thought, had a very, very well thought out and good response to the whole situation. I think Nick is. It seems like Nick is an overall good dude. Again, I'll repeat what I've said about Doc. I don't really watch Nickmercs, but he seems like a straight up dude. Kind of like him. Doc. The whole story is just confusing on so many levels, and it's really hard to understand any of it. But my closing position on this, because this will be the thing that when people accuse me of, oh, he said this and he said that, this is my closing thoughts on the whole story. This is to kind of recap everything. When this whole thing broke, all I wanted was a little bit of evidence or proof of the allegation. That's all I asked for. I don't trust Twitch. I still don't trust Twitch, and I'm never going to trust Twitch. It doesn't mean that something bad didn't happen. It just means that I don't trust Twitch. So I said I want to see more evidence. We then got the evidence by Dr. Disrespect himself. And all we have is the information that he provided us. And based off that information at this point in time on this video, it ain't good. It ain't good at all. And if there's more context that he wants to add to this to give a little more clarity as to did he or didn't he know, then he can provide that. But at the time of recording this video, he has not. So based on the information that Dr. Disrespect has provided to the masses, this situation is terrible for him and it's inexcusable based on the information we have right now. If there's more, I'll cover it. I don't care about the leaked stuff, about all the other stuff he does in his personal life, because none of that shit matters. And if you're the type of person that worries about what someone does in their personal life, then that's on you. That ain't my problem, and it's not something I'm worried about at all. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.